Hey everybody, welcome back to our review of the Shantae series, the little franchise that could. Well, up next is Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. Now, this is actually the game that got me interested in the Shantae series. I remember a couple years ago I was at work on break and I was looking up YouTube videos, and then I saw an ad for this game and I looked at it and I was like, anime visuals, old school side scrolling, this seems right up my alley. But how does this game fare in comparison to its predecessors? Well, there's only one way to find out for sure, so let's check it out. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse was released on the Nintendo 3DS in 2014, before making its way to Steam, PS4, Xbox One, and the Wii U. This time, helping Wait For It Technologies is Inta Creates, who provided additional artwork designs. They're best known for their work on the Mega Man Zero series. After the events of the last game, Shantae is readjusting to life now that she's a full-blooded human, and is still Scuttletown's guardian. Just then, the town appears to be under attack once again. Shantae rushes out to battle and comes face to face with the Ammo Baron. After a short tussle, it is then discovered that the mayor has just recently sold the town to the Baron. With him as the new owner of the town, he places Shantae in house arrest as she waits further punishment. Dejected by these events, she decides to take a bath to rest her problems away. Suddenly realizing that she does not own a bathtub, she gets snared in a trap by Risky Boots. She demands to know the location of her crew and her pirate equipment. Shantae has no idea what she is talking about, so Risky takes Shantae to Mimic's workshop, where he has one of Risky's Tinkerbats in a cage. Shantae is surprised by this, but before she can say anything, the Tinkerbat is ensnared by what appears to be dark magic, and is then turned into a grotesque creature known as the Cracklebat. After a short battle with Shantae emerging victorious, the dark magic is sealed inside the lamp that Risky used in the last game. Risky informs Shantae that this appears to be the work of the Pirate Master, who was an evil tyrant and Risky's former mentor. He was sealed away long ago by the genies of Sequidland and is now trying to return. And since Risky took over his ship, well, needless to say, she doesn't want him coming back anytime soon. So Risky and Shantae reluctantly decide to team up in order to stop the return of the Pirate Master and save their world. Along the way, Risky reveals to Shantae that the dark magic is actually Shantae's own magic. Apparently, Shantae did not destroy it, but instead was spread throughout the land. Shantae and Risky take care of the evil dens and set out to the Pirate Master's grave to finish things off. But they're too late, as the Pirate Master has been revived. He kidnaps Risky and heads out to Sequidland Palace. Shantae pursues him. In exchange for Risky's life, Shantae gives him the dark magic collected in the lamp. However, the dark magic suddenly changes back to light. With it, Shantae is transformed back into a half-genie. With the combined efforts of Shantae and Risky, the Pirate Master is defeated and Sequidland is saved. Afterwards, Risky returns to her pirate life, and Shantae uses her magic to return Scuttletown to the ownership of the mayor. The world is broken up between 7 areas, with Risky serving as your transportation. Outside Scuttletown, there is Salvia Island, Spiderweb Island where you reconnect with Roddy Tops, Tanline Island, Mudbog Island, and Frostbite Island. Each island is wonderfully designed and very different. It really expands the world of Sequidland and gives it some real nice diversity. The third game of this series also feels like a love letter to the first one in some ways. Many tunes, monsters, and gameplay elements that were not in the second game return here. At Scuttletown, you can stock up on health items, weapons, and new abilities in the items shop, and you can regenerate your health in the bathhouse. One new variation is that throughout the land you can find baby squids and take them to the Squidsmith. When you find 4, she will crush them and turn them into a new heart container to increase your overall health. Also spread out throughout the game are 20 Cracklebats. Now you need to find them, defeat them, and collect the dark magic, and you need to get them all in order to get the proper ending. Now the game retains its Metroid-style gameplay. The The main difference here is that instead of the animal transformations, you instead collect Risky's equipment. Such equipment you can use include a pistol, a sword for breaking blocks, boots for increased speed, a hat for floating, and a cannon for performing triple jumps. As you travel back and forth, you use your newly acquired weapons to unlock new areas. You still retain your hair whip as your normal attack, and you can increase its speed and strength, along with extra skills like bubbles, pike balls, among other things that fans should be used to by now. For many fans of this series, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is considered the best. For me, it's close between this one and Half Genie Hero. The one thing that this franchise really has is quality. And there really hasn't been a bad Shantae game, at least in my opinion. The first one was a fun, if somewhat flawed experience, due to some gameplay choices. The second one took what worked and improved on it, but was pretty short. But the third one here is where the series really hit its stride. I've always enjoyed stories where the series' main antagonist is forced to team up with the hero in order to stop a more evil threat. It kind of reminds me of Super Mario RPG or X-Men Legends 2. It works here very well, as we get to learn a little bit more about Risky's backstory, and the two grow to have a grudging respect for each other. So to me, the story here is the best in the series. The characters and dialogue remain a highlight in this game, as they're just as charming as they ever have been. Graphically, there's not that much improvement over Risky's Revenge, but that part wasn't broken, so there was no need to fix it. You know, it's rather ironic that switching out the animal transformations, a big part of the first two games with the pirate equipment, turned out to be a great idea on the whole. While the transformations are fine, the equipment here is just so much fun to use. And when maxed out to full power, they can be an absolute blast to use. Backtracking with them never felt like a chore, as you can breeze through areas you were in previously in order to get the good stuff that is hidden. The boss fights, while fun, were never really hard. Once you discover their pattern, they pretty much fall like dominoes in front of you. The real challenge came in the level design, as they were all catered to a specific tool. They were set up really well and worked perfectly with the gameplay. The only exception was the final level, because it's filled with spikes. I know it's supposed to be very challenging, but I think they got a little carried away here. The music. Oh man, let me tell you something about the music. Now, Jake Kaufman has always done a wonderful job with this series, but here he really outdoes himself. I mean, the music in this game is this awesome combination between orchestra and techno. It just really gives Shantae a very unique sound compared to other franchises. It's not a stretch to say that these tunes would not be out of place in a Sonic the Hedgehog game. One thing that is very noticeable in this game, however, is the fan service. Now, it's always kind of been there, but here it's a little more upfront. There's a part in Tan Line Island where you have a sequence which is really just an excuse to get the four main ladies in this game into iron bikinis. It is played up for laughs, and the art style has that sort of anime cartoonish design, so it does look pretty cute. What I'm trying to say is that it didn't bother me, but it may bother some others, so just putting that out there. Honestly, Pirate's Curse is one of the best games WayForward has produced. It's a fun game filled with charm, solid gameplay, great visuals, and music. It was a big success both commercially and critically, and a benchmark for the series as a whole. It allowed more adventures featuring the Half Genie Hero to continue. Speaking of which, that brings us to the fourth and final leg of our little franchise review, Shantae Half Genie Hero, the most recent video game in this budding little series. So join me next time for our review. Until then, keep on gaming.